everyone. I'm your VP of Membership with ATD, Eastern Pennsylvania Chapter. My name is Jennifer Thompson, and today I have with me Alison Peirce, who is the Executive Education Director with the Vistex Institute at Lehigh University. Alison, welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, and I think our members would be interested to hear what you have to share. So can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, where did you go to school?
All right, so I think a large part of my background is that I'm the third of a family of 8. I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. So I'm very used to working in teams from a very early age. I grew up on Long Island, and then as an 11 or 12-year-old, moved to upstate New York. And
that's quite a change.
It was a huge difference. And I went to Syracuse University and Union College and ultimately finished my undergraduate studies at Empire State College of the State University of New York. I was in an unenviable position of having an excess of credits and no degree. So I finished up at Empire State, and then I later got an MBA from the Kellogg School at Northwestern.
Oh, very nice, very nice. What made you decide to stay involved in education?
I really believe in human potential and developing human capital. And I've always found the work satisfying and significant. And I have to be honest, my mom was a member of the school board in her community for over 30 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think it's a little bit in the bloodstream.
Some good DNA there, right? Can you tell us about your career in MBA programs? Can you describe that for us?
So I started out in career development, and I ran the MBA career development offices initially at the University of Rochester MBA program, the Simon School, then went to Kellogg and ran it there for several years, and then was recruited to the Wharton School, and I ran their career development office for MBAs. And I made a switch at one point from the career development area to executive education, also at Wharton. And I was with Wharton over 25 years. I took one brief, not so brief, hiatus where I worked on my own for 10 years. And after the global financial crisis, returned to Wharton. It helped to have a steady job when you had children in college.
Yes, I am sure. So what made you decide to return to Wharton? What did you like about it?
Well, in all honesty, I like the stability. I like the types of clients I worked with. I had done almost everything in Wharton Exec Ed. I had run our open enrollment portfolio, launched the advanced management program, was involved in our early e-learning venture, Wharton Direct. When I returned, I headed up the custom practice for programs for firms in the financial and professional services sector.
Oh, very nice.
And in that area, I did a lot of traveling to China. China was a big part of our portfolio, made about 14 trips to China over 3 years.
Wow, wow. That sounds quite eventful to me and very interesting. I wouldn't have minded joining you on that. So you're 1 year into this position at Lehigh, correct?
Yes, just in March.
Okay, so how's it been for you? What's it been like?
So I had actually retired from Wharton and was joyfully unemployed for 2 years and was contacted by the dean of the business school at Lehigh, Georgette Phillips. Mm-hmm. She had actually been on the faculty at Wharton. I had never met her there, but through a mutual acquaintance, she contacted me when the position was open. And I think the biggest adjustment is scale. Mm-hmm. And we had so many more resources at Wharton. But also, it's a different market here in the Lehigh Valley. And this is where we're really pledging our trough, in effect. We just want to be a focal point of the Lehigh Valley in terms of learning and development. And there's a different attitude toward L&D here. People are not in the habit of going away for a week-long program or even a 4-day program, a 3-day program. And so we're just getting to know the needs of the community. And to do that, we're really focusing on providing high impact, short duration programs. Mm-hmm. Things that are helpful to young professionals, mid-level professionals who are really working to make a contribution in the workplace. So right now, with the shutdown of all face-to-face programs, which is really where we had prioritized, we're now offering online content in areas like managing virtually, to do project management on a virtual basis, and leading hybrid teams. Because even if we all went back tomorrow, which we know is not going to happen, you'd still have some people working remotely. And the name of the game now is managing a hybrid team. And so we're offering our courses online, synchronous, all designed using adult learning theory with a lot of interactivity and application back to the job.
That is great to hear, Allison. I know a lot of companies and organizations are struggling with, most of the workforce went remote if they were still working. And now they're anticipating some of the workforce being on site while some are still working from home. So it's presenting different challenges. So I think you're spot on with what you're targeting, and I think many can benefit from that.
So I'm really pleased because the person who's teaching that course is a practitioner. She was on the marketing team at Clorox and had worked for Clorox for a number of years, was frequently promoted. And she finally said to her boss, this would be so much easier for me to do. She had 2 young children, if I lived closer to my parents, who happened to live in Pennsylvania. And her boss sat on it for a long time. And finally they said, we're willing to try it if you create the policies for remote work and create a center of excellence on remote work. So she did that. She was working from Pennsylvania, I think, for 8 years, continuing to get promoted, and then finally realized she was at a midpoint and she would either continue with Clorox or move out into the world of remote work because as a practitioner, because she really enjoyed that. So she has very hands-on and very, very applied practices to teach. And I think it's going to be a very good program. It starts on June 10th.
Oh, wonderful. And I always thought it was best to have someone who had the industry experience behind them along with the academic credentials. I mean, I don't think you'd find a better combination. So that's great to hear. Allison, can you tell us if someone is interested in these programs that you're offering, what do they need to do? Where do they need to go? How do they sign up?
They can just go to our website, cbe.lehigh.edu/executive education, and there's information available with descriptions of the course. And we're very eager to talk to people and work with them at this point, given the varying circumstances. So we want the content to get out there. So if someone has an interest, but there's an issue about the cost, we can work with them.
Okay, Allison, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I'm sure many will be in touch with you, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Appreciate it.
Same here. Bye, everyone.